Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Monday, August 29th. And be careful out there this morning. There's a lot of areas of dense fog, especially across the Saginaw Valley and across eastern lower Michigan. So again, be careful out there this morning. Give yourself some extra time. The headlines will be, we'll have a chance of some showers and thunder showers as we get into the day on Tuesday into Tuesday night, with the best chance, I think, during the afternoon and evening hours and then into the overnight hours. And then precipitation should move out of here on Wednesday. That looks like the only chance of rain really until we get through next weekend. So lots of nice weather coming up. We'll have temperatures in the 80s for today and tomorrow, but then 70s through the rest of the week. And of course, the hurricane threat across the Gulf states. Good news is it looks like the odds of a strong hurricane has greatly been diminished thanks to a lot of wind shear as it went through the Caribbean. And we thought once it went through that area, it rapidly intensified, and that just hasn't been the case. So that's good news, but could be a lot of rainfall heading for the state of Florida. If we look at the normals for the day, our normal high is 79, the normal low is 56. A year ago, we had a high of 66 and a low of 59 with about 3/10 of an inch of rain. If you look at the conditions around the area yesterday, you can see temperatures mainly in the low 80s, most areas, mid 80s down in southeast lower Michigan. And they had some pretty good storms come through yesterday morning, dropping 71 hundredths of an inch at Jasper. And then very early in the morning, about 7/10 as well, or at Newaygo. You can see Blissfield Station, not sure if that got knocked down by the power, but either the computer's down or the internet's down there. Not sure if that's storm related or not. Now here in Breckenridge, we had a hardware failure with our console and our data logger, so we're going to be down for a while until we can get a new part here in Breckenridge. If we look at the next map, you can see current conditions in the area around the state. Again, mainly mid 60s across much of the area, so a pretty warm start to the day. And again, today and tomorrow will be quite humid with highs in the 80s, and then showers moving in by Tuesday, probably around noon, I think, and then lasting into very early on Wednesday morning. If you take a look at the growing degree day raw totals, you can see we're certainly way up there now at almost 2,400 at Blissfield and Jasper, and many areas, again, in great shape. If we look at Breckenridge over the last 20 years, we're now in fourth place as far as the most growing degree days. Again, here over the last 20 years, that was as of Saturday. As far as moisture, we continue to be quite moist with a couple locations now over 5 inches of rain and several more over 4 inches of rain here for the month of August. So very moist across the area now. And if we look at the next slide, you can see the 5 a.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. We now have a tropical depression just to the northwest of Cuba. And as that goes into the Gulf, we expect by tomorrow morning that'll strengthen into a tropical storm. But it looks like that's where it's going to hold as it moves through the state of Florida, then reemerges out into the Atlantic. It could become a hurricane next week. But again, for the U.S. interest, it looks like mainly a chance that it'll be a tropical storm with very heavy rainfall of around 6 to 10 inches across the state of Florida. And obviously, we'll continue to update that here over the next couple of days. Also, tropical depression number 8 will just glance the North Carolina outer banks where there are tropical storm watches in effect. And again, looks like that storm should, however, mainly be offshore, but it could, again, graze parts of North Carolina. If we look at the spaghetti map for the storm 2 days ago, it looked like a lot of the areas from Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi would be under the gun. But if we look 2 days later, much weaker system now will curl and recurve up into Florida. Again, the biggest threat right now looks like heavy rains, and we could see some gusty winds near Tampa Bay all the way up into the panhandle of Florida. But we certainly will keep an eye on that in case things change. Over the satellite view, you can see the Bermuda High off to the southeast into the Atlantic, steering a lot of these systems across the Gulf, bringing that moisture up into the Great Lakes. But again, the cold front will take some of that moisture and rain it out here tomorrow afternoon through early Wednesday. But with the best dynamics of the low pressure well to our north, looks like the heaviest rains will fall back in Wisconsin and Minnesota here over the next couple of days. You can see on radar quite a bit of moisture off to our south. Again, that front will pick up that moisture and give us a little bit here Tuesday into early Wednesday. On the forecast map for this morning, you can see low pressure system well off to our northwest will move to the northeast of us. And again, that'll take this heaviest precipitation across Minnesota, Wisconsin to the northeast. And again, for us, it looks like mainly cold front of precipitation. Again, I think around a quarter, possibly a third of an inch. Obviously, if you get a thunderstorm, you could get a bit more. But I think right now, a couple of tenths to maybe a third of an inch looks like the best bet for areas that see rain for tomorrow and tomorrow night. If we look at that front by Tuesday, we'll be coming into the Great Lakes. And again, by midday or so, I think that's when we see the best chance of precipitation moving into the northwest areas, spreading to the southeast through the day. And by Wednesday morning, any showers and thunderstorms, it will be mainly in the morning, and they'll move off to the east. Wednesday afternoon looks really nice right now with lots of sunshine and a little bit cooler northwest breeze and lower humidity and dew points moving in. Thursday and Friday look fantastic with highs in the 70 and low humidity and dew points. If we look at precipitation here over the next 7 days, you can see obviously our tropical storm, that's going to bring a lot of moisture to Florida. But for us here in the Great Lakes, looks like mainly a quarter to maybe a half inch, but probably around a third of an inch, I think, for most areas. A little heavier across the UP where that heavier band of rain associated with the low pressure system will move to the northeast. As far as temperatures here over the next 6 to 10 days, you can see quite warm across the areas from the Gulf to the Great Lakes with the highest probabilities right across the Great Lakes area. And then for the 8 to 14 day outlook, above to much above normal. So it's not impossible we could see another 90-degree day here across the Great Lakes if this pans out. And again, the warmest conditions from the Great Lakes into New England and the mid-Atlantic states here over the next 8 to 14 days. So a very warm outlook coming up. Precipitation-wise, looks like we're going to be near to maybe slightly above normal, but probably closer to near normal. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great Monday, a great work week, and 73s to all.